Yeah.
That's the point of this conversation. The main reason that I've found that parents say, I hate repeating myself, is because they're repeating themselves in negations.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. What are negations, Patty? I know you know you're on level 3 of the Enlifted Certified. I'm going to say them anyway.
Yeah, please.
Don't talk back to me. You can't keep leaving your clothes on the floor. I really don't like it when you drink orange juice out of the jug. We're not going to continue that behavior.
That's a good one.
Yeah, those are all 4 of those are negation statements, folks.
Happy Friday, youth developer. Patty Zito, your nutritional therapy consultant and lifestyle coach at your service. In today's video, we have Mark England, who is personally one of my mentors, friend, as well as a TED Talk speaker and the master of language. Yes, that's what I truly believe. He also has a master's in education. In today's video, we're going to talk about the power of repetition. You want something to shine? You want something to look beautiful? You gotta put in the reps. Wax in, wax out. Stay tuned.
Welcome, Mark, to the Youth Developer.
Thank you for having me on the Youth Developer, Patty. How are things? Where are you? What's that big city in the background?
Check that out. That is New York City behind me. I'm in Pier 76 at this classic cars, which I'm going to put the pictures in this video. Why not?
Sure.
With my Janito in the hat in the back.
Right on.
And you are joining us from where, Mark England?
Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia.
Ooh.
It's up in the mountains. There's a mountain very close to the lake called Smith Mountain.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And we have a lake house up here, and I've got some friends coming in for a 1 week work retreat. My business partner, Adam Chin, and then one of our team members, Dave Robinson. And we might even go fishing when the stuff gets done.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to the lake house very soon. So
I look forward to you coming to the lake house.
I know I invited myself for August already. So
good.
Yeah, we'll get started. But Mark, I've been wanting to have you in a channel for a long time for a specific message and really a program that changed my life. You and I met at PaleoFX.
Yep.
Words shape our lives. And you
Yes,
basically ninja my brain upside down at this conference. And then we got started talking about language. And you are, my friend, the leading master in this field.
Well, that's because there's no one else here. We're here before everybody else.
That's so true. Well, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, one of the topics for our listeners, most of our listeners are parents, or they're parents and they're also teachers. So they're with the youth all the time, because this channel is about youth developers, those who work with the youth. And we believe that the best form of youth development is by us, the adults, living to a God-given potential, right? Us leading by example.
Sure.
So I want to talk about how language can shape parenting. And that's the topic of today. So Mark, my question to you is, for me, I'm not a parent just yet. And however, I have 20 years as a youth developer. And a lot of times, and I have shied away from giving advice to parents because I don't have children. However, I have been with children from all ages in my 20-year career. I know that you're a teacher, or you were a teacher for how many years, Mark?
5.
5. Awesome. In Virginia?
No, in Bangkok, Thailand.
What? Kickboxing?
No, I was an elementary school sports teacher at an American school, an international school.
Okay. All right. So I know you don't have any children, correct? I
That's
just
correct.
totally put you in a spot. So what would be your biggest advice for parents who maybe are like, whatever, language, I don't care about language. What about language, and how is that going to help me?
Sure. So you're absolutely correct. I do not have children. Okay. And I've given a lot of advice to parents about how their language influences their children for better and for worse, and how parents' language scaffolds their children's identity for better and for worse. So I do have, like I said, I've got 2 nieces, and I was an elementary school sports teacher, and I learned things. I learned some very important things when it comes to interacting with small humans during that time. So if you or I or anyone can take a group of 25 nuclear level jazzed 2-year-olds that are about to go swimming from the basketball court across the street into the changing rooms, they change out, get in the pool, put them through a swimming practice and free time, which is extremely exciting. Did I mention that? And then
exciting.
Out of the pool, back into the changing rooms, change into their stuff. They get all their stuff. They remember to get all their stuff and get them back over to where they need to be for the next class on time. Then you're doing something right. And that doing something right is repeating clear instructions over a prolonged period of time. When that is done well, and when that is done well, there's a high likelihood that you're going to get the outcomes that you want, which is the structure of the class, which is the development of the skill set, which is swimming, which is everyone survives, as in they stay on top of the water.
Right.
Okay. The class looks different. It runs different 25 classes in than it does on that first class. That first class, you're giving instruction. Okay. You're telling them what to do, and it's chaos. And guess what? Guess what happens the second class? You're telling them what to do. You're giving them instruction. Guess what? It's chaos.
Okay. Yeah.
It's chaos. People are forgetting laundry and book bags, and kids are running over there and zigzagging over there, and you're pulling kids out of the water because they just went under. They forgot the. And then there's the third class. You give them instructions. You tell them what to do, and it's chaos. And then there's the fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh and the eighth class, though, when you've said the same things, you've given the same instructions, and now it's starting to sink in. And there's less chaos. There's more order. And then the 12th class runs just a little bit smoother than the 8th class. And then the 16th class is running smoother than the 12th. And then by the time you get to 20, you've repeated the same set of instructions over and over and over and over and over again, assuming that you do it half well, and the kids know what to do. There's less chaos. There's less deviation. So the moral of that story is parents are going to repeat themselves. The worst thing, or it's worst, it's a very common thing for parents to say, I hate repeating myself.
Oh, I hear that a lot.
Yeah. Guess what? You're going to repeat yourself for years. And as the child grows up, there's going to be different things to repeat yourself about. So yes, I totally get it. Kids do not come with an instruction manual last time I checked.
Yeah.
And I've watched parents do this, and the same information, the same feedback keeps coming back, which is that helped a lot. What's the point of this conversation, folks? I want you to have a better style, an improved style of communicating with your children. So you get they respond better to you, you respond better to them, and you build a relationship that continues to grow and improves for the rest of your lives, for the duration of your relationship with your children.
Yeah.
That's the point of this conversation. The main reason that I've found that parents say, I hate repeating myself, is because they're repeating themselves in negations.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. What are negations, Patty? I know you're on level 3 of the enlifted certified. I'm going to say them anyway.
Yeah, please.
Don't talk back to me. You can't keep leaving your clothes on the floor. I really don't like it when you drink orange juice out of the jug. We're not going to continue that behavior.
That's a good one.
Yeah, all 4 of those are negation statements, folks. Okay. I'm going to give you all the negation keywords. We're going to talk about negations. We're going to talk about soft talk too. Okay. And we're also going to talk about rate of speech and breathing. And that right there is plenty of information to noodle on and incorporate into your communication styles with your children. Because guess what? You've got communicate, you've got a style. You've got patterns. There are patterns to your communications with your children. You've got habits. You've got habits as an adult. When it comes to talking to your spouse, you've got habits, a pattern, a way of talking to your children. You definitely got one when it comes to what you say to yourself about yourself and your life. That's a whole other conversation. You want to have better and better relationships with the people in your family. Work on having a better relationship with yourself first and foremost. This work is 100% like a oxygen mask in a plane.
Yes, put the mask on you first.
Make sure yours is securely fastened. Okay. So, don't talk back to me. When I say don't talk back to me, Patty, what am I making a picture of in my mind?
Talking back at you.
Yeah, and then what picture do you make too?
I see me replying back to you. Don't do that. Same thing.
Yeah. So I just said something, and both you and myself made a similar picture. And how am I going to feel when I say don't talk back to me? Or how am I feeling before I make that statement? Frustrated. Okay. So I frustrate myself, use words that create the picture in my imagination of what I don't want to have happen, aim that sucker at the kid, and then expect what to happen. Or you can't keep leaving your clothes all over the place. What kind of picture did I just make, Patty?
A whole bunch of clothes, socks, especially socks, all over the place.
Especially socks. And now I'm pissed again. Okay. Right. What about I don't like it when you drink orange juice out of the jug? Picture?
I'm in the fridge with the door open while I'm drinking it.
Fridge, door open, drinking. And you can't keep continuing that behavior. Guess what? There's more and more of that behavior. You can't keep skipping school. Okay, you can't keep doing that. So the first thing and Patty's heard me say this stuff how many times you've heard me repeat this stuff, because guess what? That's what it takes. And I know that as a teacher going in, I have a goal, which is to impart this information on you and all the other students. And I am fully aware, well aware. I'm excited about it now because I know that's what it takes, and I know how to do it well, which is repeat myself. When parents learn how to repeat themselves well, that cuts 50% of the piss right out the thing right out the gate.
Yep.
So don't talk back to me. What's another way of saying that? Please wait till I finish before responding. I'm going to be a whole lot calmer saying that, and I'm also making a picture of what I want to have happen. How much more clear of an instruction is that for you, Patty?
Yeah, there's a pause. You're gonna say something, then I'm gonna go ahead and say something back.
Yes, it's like a ping pong match.
Yes.
Okay.
Or tennis.
Be a good. That's a nice way to play ping pong. You're giving hard instructions in negation with a lot of emotional and stress and tightness, and you're just pissed. That's like just taking the ping pong and smashing it at the. It's not gonna. That's not a fun way to play. It's not reciprocable.
Right.
Is that even a word? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's first thing my driving teacher said when I got in the car, look where you want to go because you're probably going to go there. So let's make the mental pictures. I know this stuff seems simplistic, folks, and you're absolutely right. It is. And that's fantastic news because it makes things practical. When you know the words, when you know what words are going to create inflammation and stress and conflict in yourself and in other people, then most people naturally want to use less of those words. When they learn what words will create more connectivity and constructive conversations, and dare I say harmony. Yes, harmony. You want. Oh, blessed be the person that learns the skill of creating harmony in their own house with their words. You can't keep leaving your clothes all over the place. Please remember to pick up your clothes. But Mark, what if there's clothes all over the place? Repeat yourself until it happens. Same thing with the kids, taking them to the swimming pool. Please remember to pick up your clothes. And then you come around the corner the next day, there's clothes everywhere. Patty, please remember to pick up your clothes. It makes the room so much nicer to walk into. Come around the corner the next day, clothes everywhere. Patty, could you please remember to pick up your clothes? You got to turn into a game, folks. And you got to turn into a game. And here's a good analogy. A lot of our relationships are, imagine this, you're in the kitchen and it's cold and there's a stove. It's a wood stove and there's no fire in the stove. Okay. And you're cold. And you say to the stove, if you give me some heat, I'll give you some wood. How's that going to work?
It's not.
It's not. It's not.
No.
So what do? You put the wood in first. You give first. You stoke the fire. Then it warms up. Then the room warms up. Then you can take off the mittens and everything's much more enjoyable. Then you can read the book, maybe cook your food on top of the thing. Then it's working. Most people do the exact opposite, or actually their language forces them, it confuses them into doing the exact opposite. You ask people, what kind of family life do you want to have? Oh, I'd love to have a warm, loving, connected family life. And yet chaos ensues. Yep. Conflict ensues. Why is that? We have a glitch in our language, folks. I was brought up in the public school system. I have a master's degree in education. I didn't have one course, class, or conversation on either side of that coin about how my language influences my imagination, or how my words can create a poor self-image.
Yep.
Or how my words can create insecurity and indecision and lack of self-confidence and fear and sadness. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Hey, I hate it when you drink orange juice out of the jug. I love it when you drink orange juice out of a glass. Here's a glass. Okay.
That was
You
one word difference.
You can't keep continuing that behavior. Patty, if you continue doing this, and this, this is what's going to happen. I know you're listening to me, and you're very smart. If you make some adjustments at school in context to this one group of kids that I know you're having some issues with, then at the very least you're practicing a skill that's going to be of benefit for you when you grow up. You know, kids are how they are, and good luck controlling other people's emotions and feelings. So we're going to work on how you handle your interactions with yourself first and foremost. See the difference there?
Absolutely. And also in the I'm pretty sure every time you said every sentence, you took a nice breath.
Yep.
As you told them what you want instead of what you don't want.
Yeah, 100%. Now, that brings us to the macro piece of advice. So the theme of this conversation here, parents, is that you're going to repeat yourself. That's going to happen. I promise you. I promise you. Ask any parent on any continent, in any culture. Have you ever repeated yourself to your kids, whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not? They will all say yes. Guarantee it. Bet the farm on it. Okay. So now that we've established that fact, the word part of the conversation is about negations in this conversation. Okay. I'm going to finish up on negations, and then we're going to talk about the macro piece of advice. Okay. Both of these techniques, tools, strategies, they're very practical. Okay. So negation keywords, parents, please get a pen. Please get a piece of paper and write down these keywords. These are the negation keywords. There's only a handful of them that force you to tell your children, to give them instructions about what you don't want to have happen, what can't keep happening, what you don't want, what you don't like, what shouldn't continue. First one, don't. I don't like it when you.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah, fill in the blank. Next one, can't. Just write down don't. Write down can't. You can't keep doing that. Not. It's not good when you. Shouldn't. I shouldn't have to keep getting these calls from your school.
I shouldn't have to repeat myself.
Oh my gosh, thank you for saying that. I shouldn't have to repeat myself. Translation, I should have to repeat myself because it's part of the parenting game.
Yeah.
Won't. I won't keep putting up with this. Haven't. Hasn't. Those are your key words right there. And all it takes, folks, all it takes, parents, is a little bit of awareness to because that's where it starts. You train your ear to hear these negation keywords, and then you start connecting dots. So there's and here's my answer for, oh, it's just words. It doesn't matter what you say. I have had a few people over the years say that. And when I hear that, I say, fantastic. Thank you for bringing that up. I've been waiting far too long for someone to say that. And to that person, I say, okay, so next time you are around your employer, because it doesn't matter what you say, it matters how you say it. You ever heard that one?
Absolutely.
Of course. So I'm going to say this again. It doesn't matter what you say. It matters how you say it. This right here is for the people that think that. I want you to go up to your employer next time that you see them and be in the most considerate and sincere and warm tone. Tell them, I've never respected you. I think that you have low average intelligence and you are a terrible dresser. Say it with a smile, though. Be very nice, because it doesn't matter what you say. Just deliver it well, because it only matters how you say it. And then let me know how your professional life looks 3 months from now.
Add a please and a thank you.
Yeah, sure. Great. Expect a raise. Now that we've dispelled, which means to cast out, that comical idea, opinion, okay? And we've got the negation keywords, because guess what, folks? It does matter what you say, and it does matter how you say it. When you are giving instructions, especially when it in context to something that you're irritated about, slow down your rate of speech by roughly 20%. When you speak slower, magical things are going to happen. One of those magical things is that you are going to breathe better. When someone slows down their rate of speech, they breathe just a little bit better. And when someone is breathing better during a conversation, you sound better. And on top of sounding better, you're also going to feel better. You're going to be less charged. You're also going to be a better listener. Because guess what? Guess what parenting, guess what a part of parenting is as well? Listening. When a child, your teenager, your 20, 30-year-old, they know when you're listening to them. And they also know when what they're telling you is going in one ear and out the other. And then also they're talking to a brick wall. Okay. And that's a great way to stiffen them up and make them rigid, and everybody digs in and the conversation just goes nowhere or nowhere good. Mm-hmm. Not only when you slow down your rate of speech do those great things happen. You breathe better, you sound better, you feel better, you're a better listener. When you slow down your rate of speech, it influences, it impacts in a great way the rate of speech of your kids. And this is actually quite a high level practice, because sometimes your children are going to get emotional. Okay. You ever met a parent that said, yeah, my kid's never had an emotion, not once ever. And when they're emotional and they're screaming and crying, or they're yelling, and you have cultivated the skill set, it is 100% a skill to slow down your rate of speech and maintain it, then that's a really big deal. First and foremost for you, and eventually that will translate to your children. And you know what? There are no guarantees, folks. There are no guarantees, parents. Maybe regardless of what you do, your child still yells, your child still cries. But guess what? They will remember how you interacted with them. And the chances get higher and higher that once, if that's your baseline, that once they grow up and go out into the world, okay, and have kids for themselves, they have that as a point of reference. Okay. And that's a great potential. Again, nothing's guaranteed. That's a great potential to gift your children, is exemplifying conscious conversations.
Yep. That's a good word.
Yeah, slow, smooth, controlled conversations. And I got to back up. When we first started, I said, you called me a master of this. I'm one of them. And that there are predecessors for sure. There are people that have been talking about this over the decades. There are other language systems. And there's also actually it's an ancient practice of paying close attention to what you think and say, and what happens when you think and say what you think and say. The word abracadabra comes to mind. You knew I was going to bring this in. This is so cool. And this is also something that I highly recommend talking to your children about. They'll respond so well to it. Abracadabra. When I say abracadabra, Patty, before you met me, what did you think of when you heard abracadabra?
Magic.
Magic. Everyone goes to magic. Okay. The abracadabra, there's so much more to it than that. Abracadabra is Aramaic, which is the language, one of the two languages Jesus spoke, and the language the original Old Testament was written in. And abracadabra translates to with my word I create, or with my word I influence.
Yep.
As in, I influence myself, my feelings and emotions, my imagination, my breathing. I influence your imagination, your feelings and emotions, how you breathe. It was such a big deal that they would triangulate abracadabra and wear it around their neck to remind them of the power and the mechanism of the spoken word. Because, and there are references to the power and magic and potency of the spoken word all throughout the Old and New Testament for very good reason, because they knew that if they got their language working for them, most people's language works against them. If they got their language working for them, then that was the foundation for them to build their higher practices upon. Otherwise, it's like pushing a boulder up a hill.
Yep. The road is difficult if you do it that way.
Road's difficult. There are enough curveballs and challenges in life.
Mhm.
Get your language to be of service to you. You learn, it's a learned skill. Learn to use your language so you are first and foremost empowering yourself in your own mind. You're creating a positive self-image and positive self-confidence. Okay. And then you first and foremost exemplify that. You know, a large part of parenting is being the example of what you want your children to grow up and become.
Right.
And also your kids are going to model your words, your the way you say, what you say and how you say what you just look at accents. I don't know of anyone up in Staten Island that grows up with, some hardcore Staten Islanders that comes out with a Southern drawl. You ever met it? You ever seen that happen?
Not with those two Guidos in the back.
Not with the Guidos in the back. Okay. And I've been to Staten Island. Shout out Wu-Tang Clan. And so, language is an inheritance. Give a major powerful inheritance to your children by improving your speech.
Yep. I love that. And we also, when we slow down and breathe, we are down regulating ourselves. Just
Yes.
as in nutrition, that you have to be in a parasympathetic versus a sympathetic, fight and flight, instead of, parasympathetic, relax and ready to digest. So
big time. Let's just make this conversation even more weird. Kids model their parents' breathing mechanics, their breathing patterns. You see it all the time. High-strung, stressed out parents create, because guess what? You're creating high-strung, stressed out kids a vast majority of the time. And cool, calm, collected parents, quite often, it's called entrainment. Look up entrainment. Create cool, calm, collected kids. And my last piece of advice, think less and less about being a good parent and think more and more about being a fun parent.
yes.
Do more fun things with your kids. Be the example of an adult that has fun, that laughs, that goes and does adventurous stuff. It takes as much money to be boring as it does to be fun and adventurous, and just a little bit of thought. Those are the things that the kids are going to remember.
Yep. Creating those memories. That's what children remember.
Yeah. Be a fun mom. Be a fun dad. That's something that you can look at and say, okay, I'm not all that fun. Okay. What would be a fun thing to do? And then you go out and you do it and it was kind of fun. You're like, okay, well, at least I went out and did something fun. I was thinking about fun. Well, okay, let's do that again. Let's give it a shot. I'll give this fun thing 10 tries. And then you go out and you do something else. It was fun. And we actually had a little bit more fun than last time. That's interesting. You'll get better at it. Fun's a practice.
Wait, did you say repeat yourself? No.
Repeat a fun version of yourself. That's what you'll have a better relationship. You'll have a better relationship with your kids. And then when the inevitable time to have a serious conversation, a fail that I see very frequently is when parents are stressed, and it's just their baseline is stress and anxiety and just lack of connection and not being present, and there's no quality time invested. They don't go do anything fun, and then they have to sit down and have a serious conversation with their kid about something that happened in school or something. That doesn't go well. There's no foundation for that crucial conversation to stand upon, and it's just everybody gets tight. Yep. Be a fun mother, be a fun father, and watch what happens.
I love it. Mark, thank you so much for those two things. I hear nice and loud. It's the repetition. You got to repeat yourself by using language that will work for you, and then eventually it will work for your children.
Yeah. And
then the second thing, it's have fun, take those deep breaths, repeat the fun memories with your children.
For sure. Yeah. You're going to repeat yourself, parents. Mm-hmm. Watch the negations. Use less negations. Use more affirmations. So tell them what you do want them to do. Tell them what you do like. Tell them what is possible. Tell them what. Give them. Catch them doing something good. Make sure to verbalize when they're doing things well. Let them know. Use your words to help paint a picture of them succeeding in life when they grow up. Okay. Slow down your rate of speech. Breathe a little bit better and go have some fun, and you're in the top 5% of parents right then and there. And we did this in 30 minutes.
Yes, we did. I love it. Well, Mark, thank you so much for your time, for visiting the Youth Developer. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
I will. I already am.
Awesome.
All right, Youth Developer, if you like this video, I want to challenge you. I want to give you a cow, like Jimmy likes to call. Cow means challenge of the week. Today's challenge is to go on a walk with your children and apply what Mark talked about today. So let's apply today's message. Let's listen in. Let's make sure that we follow all of Mark's tips today on a walk. If you don't have children, share this video with someone who has children. Let me know in your comments below what you like about the videos, any questions for Mark. But today's challenge is to get on a walk. I can't wait to hear all about it.